up, rise and shine. It's a brand new day with Mo and News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it. My dear friends, from politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled, from morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. It is July the 18th, and we have all the news that will break your bingo card today, because some of it I am just like, all right, timeline. I'm with it. I'll deal it. Oh, okay. Wicked Wookie, I'm glad it's not just me. Not that I want you to have issues, but I thought, what in the world did I cock up now? So maybe I will just chat to, I'm sure, what will be lovely customer service people with X, because Elon's taken over, and they will give me all the answers. Maybe I just have to reboot my computer or something. I have no idea. I paid the $11. Let me broadcast, Elon, and don't make me call customer service, which is a bigger punishment than you think it is for someone who's an introvert. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing all of the Modly Mod stuff. Cynthia Fire Fairy 42, thank you for being the first. Celestial Force, good morning. Good morning, Wicked Wookie. And Penny Ward, good morning. And I hope everything in Australia is good. I know you are, in a colder time, so hope you are staying warm right now. Wolfram, I'm glad it wasn't you. I do love that... that my first general thought with anything in technology is, how did I screw up? Mostly because in personal experience, it is 99.999% human and user error if it's something for me. In our first news, I cannot explain to you how ticked off I would be if this happened, but a family of 9 was left behind in remote Alaska, charged $9,000 by Norwegian Cruise Line. Y'all, there would be no level of petty to which the cruise line would not be subjected. I mean, terrible Yelp, reviews, all of the bad mouthing on Facebook page. I mean, possibly doing Facebook videos. If you left my family of 9 in Daggone, Alaska, which pisses me off because I really want to go on an Alaskan cruise. Like, Mr. Mo's like, do you want to go on a cruise? And I was like, oh, yes, I do. And he's like, you want to go to Alaska, don't you? And I was like, yeah, not, the Caribbean or anything. Let's go to Alaska. He's like, I can't. Good morning, distant. An Oklahoma family of 9 was left stranded in remote Alaska after their Norwegian cruise line shipped up and left them behind, then charged the desperate family $9,000 in customs fees. The Galt family was traveling with 6 young kids and a 78-year-old grandmother on July 12th when they disembarked from Norwegian Encore. It looks like Crackalacken, or in Crackalacken, but I know that is not the name of the town. So if anyone is from Alaska, it looks like Crackalacken to me, okay? So that's the new name of the town. I apologize. A small town in a string of South Alaskan islands, so they could watch a lumberjack show together. But on their way back, the local tour operator transporting passengers to and from the vessel failed to properly check who had tickets and didn't, merely conducting a head count, and told the Galts there was no room and to wait for another shuttle. Quote, we could see the chaos getting onto the boats and to get on the buses, and one of the attendees is like, the bus is full, you got to wait for the next bus, Josh Galt told News 2. However, the bus never came back, and after frantically calling the Port Authority to arrange transportation, they finally arrived back at the docks to see the Norwegian Encore sailing away, taking their passports, medication, and clothes. 6 kids on board, minor children, and a 78-year-old mother-in-law on medication. We all had to quit cold turkey medication these last few days because it's on the cruise ship, Joshua said. From there, the chaos only deepened. The family, which had already spent $30,000 on the trip. Palooka Joe, absolutely not. No. I just explain what would happen, like the ridiculous level of petty if, say, you charged me $500 and then refused to refund it to my credit card. Oh no, the level of petty has gone to DEFCON 11. If I've done paid you $30,000 and you could not coordinate with your little tour guide here to get my, happy behind back on the cruise ship, I might go full toddler tantrum on the floor. No. Now, they were then immediately hit with nearly $9,000 charge from the cruise line, $971 per passenger for missing the boat. The fee stemmed from U.S. Customs and Border Protection's Passenger Vessel Service Act, which they violated for not visiting a foreign port before they returned to the U.S. as their itinerary planned. But they were unable to catch up with the vessel at its next port of call in Canada because nearly all their passports had sailed away from them. With no choice but to find their way home, the Gulls had to arrange new lodging within hours, book their flights home, and feed their many hungry mouths, the costs piling up the longer it took to get them home. All the flights for 9 people, all the food for 9 people, all the hotel stays, Galt told 2 News, counting off all the accommodations they had to arrange and pay for on the fly. After days of travel, which included numerous stops in numerous cities, canceled flights, and more than one overnight airport stay, the family finally arrived home in Tulsa, strung out, tired, and having picked up, cases of the cold and all the yucky stuff that you get in airports. The family is working with Norwegian to rectify the situation, but after their ordeal, they feel the cruise line has a lot of slack to pick up to make things right. We're still looking into it. We haven't forgotten about you, Caitlin Gull said. Norwegian kept telling them as they battled their way home. And I was like, no, we feel like you've pretty much forgotten all about us when you left us at port and told us to go figure it out, she added. Norwegian Cruise Lines told the Post it began the process of refunding the Gulls the nearly $9,000 in fees they were charged and will reimburse them for all their travel expenses once receipts have been received. The cruise line has also said it tried to contact the Gulls after they missed their bus due to a misstep by a local tour operator. When they were unable to reach them, worked with local port authority to help the family arrange lodging for the night before they were able to make a flight to Seattle the next day. In addition, these guests will be receiving prorated refund for the 2 days of the cruise they missed. Well, aren't y'all sweet? I'm saying this might not be the triumphant return to good public relations that the, Tylenol company experienced after the Chicago incident. For the love of God, just refund them all of the cruise money. You tortured this family. Oh, and as a gesture of goodwill, the company will also be providing each of the 9 guests with a future cruise credit in the form of a 20% discount on their cruise fare that can be used for their next voyage. If this family does not kindly fold that up into an origami middle finger and send it back to these people, I would never go on Norwegian cruises again. Okay? That's like, I would be all the petty if I saw a Norwegian cruise, ad pop up, I would put, do not ever do this. I would tack this story on there. I mean, refund this family the whole doggone amount of their cruise and be done with it, Norwegian, if you really want to get good public relations out of this. If you want to save this debacle from a a regular person. I mean, this looks like a family trip that they have scrimped and saved for the last umpteen years. I mean, these are normal people that probably this has been, a lifelong goal for Granny to go see Alaska, to go on a cruise. And it ticks me off that their experience was ruined, because I know, as comfortable, but when you save a lot of money to do a big experience and then it screws you over, oh heck no. In other, well, what in my bingo card is broken is this: cyanide poisoning may be responsible for 6 people found dead in a luxury hotel, including 2 U.S. citizens, Thai police say. When I hear U.S. citizens in Thailand, I always get a little squeaked out. Just because of, general internet shenanigans and, dank memes about, men going to Thailand. So not at all appropriate. Anyhoozle, let's get into the news. 6 people, including 2 U.S. citizens, were found dead inside a luxury hotel room in central Bangkok. Likely, they drank from tea and coffee cups laced with cyanide following a dispute linked to bad investments. I mean, it could have been just a 9 to 5 incident. I mean, how many times have you reached for the skinny and sweet and got the rat poison instead? It's a very honest mistake. I think we could all, if Dolly Parton, Lily Tomlin, and that other chick could do it, I mean, who among us? The grisly discovery was made on Tuesday when the staff at the 5-star Grand Hyatt Erawan in the Thai capital entered the 5th floor suite after the guest missed checkout by more than 24 hours. When police arrived at the scene, they found the bodies of 3 men and 3 women, a table full of untouched food, wrapped in plastic, and used cups with traces of white powder. The door was locked from the inside, police said, though the back door was left unlocked. Authorities initially said that they were searching for a 7th person who was part of the hotel booking, but on Wednesday they dismissed this line of inquiry, saying they believed one of the deceased poisoned the others with the fast-acting, chemical cyanide. Among the 2 dead are 2 Vietnamese Americans and 4 Vietnamese nationals, including a married couple between the ages of 37 and 56, the Thai police said. A chief of police forensics office, Tarong Phuphan, said in a press conference that cyanide was found in the mugs and cups in the hotel room, and it had been in at least one of the samples of blood collected from a deceased man. Cyanide was found in the liquid inside all the teapots and all of the coffee cups. And this is why I drink Coca-Cola from a bottle. Okay, Coke Zero. I'm looking to switch to water, y'all. Let's make these small steps. Look, I'm trying to lower my carbs, and you want to take caffeine away from me. Whew. If that is true, Wolfram, my great aunt and uncle missed the boarding of the Titanic because they were busy window shopping. They chose to take another ship instead. I say that's divine shopper's intervention. I mean, that's awesome. Who the heck puts cyanide? Who the heck has cyanide on hand? I mean, I can understand the people that have, doTERRA oils on hand all the time, but I mean, to each their own. The images issued by the Royal Thai Police show cups on a coffee table next to 2 metal thermos flasks and a dining table laden with plates of food, prepared as if people were sitting down to eat. The police are now questioning whether the victims were unalived or chose to self-unalive. Wednesday's press conference suggested the police were leaning toward the former. Deputy Metropolitan Police Commissioner Nopasan Punaswat told reporters that they believe one of the members of the group may have, poisoned the other five. The person, the police said, had ordered the food and tea to the room and looked under stress when the staff arrived. The chief said interviews with the hotel staff that one of the members of the group was alone when the food arrived and later was joined by guests. He added that the incident was likely linked to a personal matter and not related to organized crime, as interviews carried out with relatives of the dead indicated a dispute over debt. One of the relatives said that one of the deceased was an investment agent and all of the deceased invested, but the business was not going as expected, and they had made an appointment to discuss the matter in Thailand. Two of the deceased were found in the bedroom, while another at a dining room table, and police believe one member of the party tried to reach the door but fell before they were able to do so. Police said the group arrived in Thailand on various dates and had booked separate rooms in the hotel, but on July 15th, all the party moved into the same room and had room service delivered at about 2 p.m. local time. No one left or entered the suite after 2:17 p.m. The Grand Hyatt Hotel where the deaths occurred is located in a bustling tourist area at the heart of Bangkok that's the home to luxury shopping malls and restaurants. So it looks like we don't have a lot of information, but there is one sort of footnote that is a little odd, but apparently cyanide might be a thing in Thailand. Last year, Sarat Rangwithaporn, a Thai woman, was arrested on suspicion of unaliving her friend with cyanide and was charged with at least 13 counts of premeditated murder in separate poisoning cases that stunned the country. So, I don't know. I'll keep an eye out on this story, but this looks like all the shenanigans. Thank you. Some days it is a rare and awesome day when my hair manages to do something of its own accord that looks awesome, because I had always fancied myself a hairologist, but the magic that some people can do with a brush and actually work a hairdryer at the same time. Look, y'all are magicians. I don't know how you do it, because I end up getting it all twisted and twistified in my hair and then have that little freak out like, am I going to have to cut this entire section out of my hair and then spray it with detangler and get it out. But thank you so much. Some days, despite all of my ineptitude, it turns out fine on its own. It's feral, and sometimes that works out. Oh, dude, there's a body right there. A defense attorney is using fruit of a poisonous tree argument to get a judge to toss evidence collected from a storage unit where a woman was killed. So this is an update. We did do this story. I believe this gentleman unalived his wife and then put her. I have that too, and some days it works, but I have such thick, all the hair that I have to dry the roots. If I don't do that, then it's I have 900 pounds of hair, and each one of them has their own personality. You wonder where I get all of my characters. Every follicle is a personality. The attorney for a Florida man accused of murdering his wife, said the evidence cops collected from the storage unit where he allegedly unalived her should be tossed because it was opened without a warrant. Corey Hill, 52, is charged with first-degree murder in the November death of 37-year-old Sharika Rucker in the Orlando area storage unit. He's also charged with 4 other accounts of attempted murder after he allegedly shot his girlfriend's house hours after the police say he killed Rucker. The death penalty is in play in this case, so it will be interesting to see if this argument works with such a high profile and, capital punishment case. Hill's attorney is trying to get the judge to dismiss evidence the Orange County Sheriff's Office obtained at the storage locker because deputies reportedly opened the unit without a warrant. Robert S. Lahr of Orange County Public Defender's Office is using the fruit of the poisonous tree argument in an attempt to get the evidence tossed. A property manager from your storage units in Apoka called 911 around 5 p.m. on November 18th after she possibly saw a head in a neighboring unit. There was also a distinct odor of human decomposition emanating from the locker, cops said. Lahr writes in the motion that body camera shows the door to the unit was clearly closed. One of the responding deputies opened that locked door, Lahr wrote. The deputy and his partner looked inside the unit, and one said, "Oh, dude, there's a body right there behind the tire," one of the deputies reportedly said. The deputy went inside and found Rucker's body. Lars writes the cops recovered some items before obtaining the warrant. Detectives found 4 spent cartridge casings, including one in her hair, blood on the walls and floor. Deputies also observed bullet holes and blood in the unit. The unit belonged to Hill. The defendant seeks suppression and of the above evidence as fruit of an unlawful search, Lahr wrote. Clearly, the defendant has displayed an expectation of privacy by closing and locking Unit 3032. Prosecutors have not yet filed a response to the defense motion. Orlando NBC affiliate WESH reported Hill was in court Tuesday, but the judge made no ruling on the motion. The hearing is scheduled for October. As Law and Crime previously reported, Rucker left her Winter Springs home with Hill on November 11th. They were seen on a surveillance video later that day about 50 miles away at a retail store and a restaurant in Davenport. Video surveillance reportedly later showed a car with 2 people inside fitting the descriptions of both Hill and Rucker drive into a storage unit. And Hill punches code to enter his unit shortly after 6 a.m. on November 12th. Hill left the facility alone about 20 minutes later. Rucker's family contacted him to ask about her whereabouts, but Hill said he was not with her. Her family also received a text message around 6:45 a.m. that she was on her way home, the affidavit said. The detective wrote that Rucker had recently found out that Hill had a romantic relationship with another woman. Neither woman had been aware of the other, investigators said. The ex-girlfriend ended the relationship after she learned that Hill was married, investigators said. Hill's ex-girlfriend told Orange County Sheriff's deputies she was standing outside her Kiss Me Home on November 12th with her cousin and 2 children when she noticed Hill's vehicle. Hill got out of his car and started sending freedom seeds downrange. She and her family escaped unscathed, but she does, remark that she heard bullets flying, close by her ears. Once inside the home, the ex-girlfriend hid in a bathroom while her cousin hid in another room with her children. Hill allegedly broke a kitchen window to get inside and started screaming her name. Hill then broke down a bedroom door where the cousin and children were hiding and said to one of them, "Take me to your mommy," while holding a force multiplier to his side. The affidavit said. The woman said she dated Hill for about 2 months, but he became upset when she called a woman later identified as his wife. Hill said she would regret it. Well, it's about the only vow he's kept honest on. Ugh. Deputies found 4 bullets in the home, and home surveillance video showed Hill inside with the force multiplier, detectives wrote. Hill was arrested on 4 counts of attempted murder and in jail without bond before the murder charge for Rucker's death. He has not cooperated with detectives regarding the Rucker case, authorities said. If he is found guilty of killing Rucker, it would be his 2nd murder conviction. More than 30 years ago, Hill was charged with 2nd-degree murder in a December 23, 1992 shooting death of an 18-year-old man in Suffolk, Virginia, court records and news archives show. Well, there you go. Just absolutely. This man does not live in even a town adjacent to do right. When given the option, he would rather do the wrongest thing possible. He thinks 3 wrongs equal total rightness. This is ridiculous. I can see the sad thing is I can legitimately see that they didn't have a warrant and they opened up that locker. And we have to hold everyone to the same standards because, there are innocent people that get pulled in. And it ticks me off that these officers did not wait. There was not an exigent threat. If you have that smell emanating, if the manager said she saw a head, you know, I don't know if you can use wiggle room to say there's a vague possibility that someone's alive in there and we had to check it out. But I don't know that that's going to fly. And it ticks me off because this man, with just the fact pattern that I've read here seems like there is a case to charge him with and let a jury decide. But because they did not follow the rules, this crime that he committed against this woman allegedly might not come to anything. And it ticks me off. Do better. Did y'all train with Canton? What the hell? In sadder news, and I didn't even know Fandango was still a thing, which might have led to this, and this is not a joke. I'm not trying to be flippant. I just didn't really know that Fandango was still a thing. Fandango founder J. Michael Klein ID'd as the jumper who self-deleted from a luxury NYC hotel. I feel bad for this gentleman. Tough times are temporary. Tough times are temporary. Look, things look really, really dark sometimes, but don't give up. Don't put your family through something like this. Just, reach out to someone. There's numbers to call. Dark times don't last. And if you look around, there are people that will hold candles and light up your darkest night. Amy's positive pathways, I am not sure. I am not a lawyer. I will keep an eye on this case to see if there is a response and how they're going to play this. That might be something that they say. I am not sure. The jumper who sadly chose to end his life from a luxury hotel in Midtown this week was identified as the wealthy co-founder of movie ticket firm Fandango and a philanthropist who advocated for the protection of tigers. Sources and cops said Wednesday. Michael J. Klein, a 64-year-old serial entrepreneur and father of 6 with a home in Greenwich, Connecticut, plunged from the 20th floor of the Kimberly Hotel and landed in the 3rd floor courtyard Tuesday morning, according to law enforcement sources. And I will say, look, you guys, if that dark hole in a family isn't enough, I mean, think about the mental pain ripples that seeing the aftermath of this does to people. I am sure those people on the 3rd courtyard will never be the same. I mean, this is something that is emotionally scarring. Our first responders have to come on these scenes, have to see people dealing with the loss of a loved one all the time, and it's tragic, and I'm sure it is soul crushing and has so much emotional baggage. So, please don't leave that for other people. Reach out to someone if you're struggling. Klein was also the managing partner of a startup funding firm, Accreditive, and left an apparent note before jumping from the building on East 50th Street near Lexington Avenue, sources say. The contents of the note were not immediately known on Wednesday. The manner of his death came as a shock from those who knew him and happened only days after a gallbladder surgery, sources said. Klein owned multi-million-dollar houses in the Hamptons and Palm Beach, Florida, including a sprawling lakefront abode bought with his wife for $20.75 million in December 2020, according to Palm Beach Daily News. This is the gentleman. And this just goes to show money doesn't fix everything. Money can make things more comfortable, but if you have a hole in you, don't fill it with things. Fill it with people. Fill it with good things to do for others. I mean, I tried filling it with Mike and Ike's for 2 years and, self-pity and, well, dark humor, but I'm keeping the dark humor, y'all. Just it is an intrinsic part of my soul. And it's sure, having won the lottery would have, taken some stressors away, but I still would have had to battle all of those other demons and fill that hole with either something positive or negative, and I just realized that's going to be clipped. But money doesn't solve problems. It can cushion certain things, but if you have something in your heart that's missing, the best way to fill a lack in yourself, I have found, and this is only Mo's personal wisdom, so take it with, a couple ramen noodles, packets of salt, but go do for others. If you feel a lack in yourself, if you feel unworthiness or anything like that, go look around and see what you can do uh, for others. Look at the blessings you have around you, and it is hard to stay in truly the darkest mode. Uh, yes, Shannon Doherty did die. I believe Sunday evening, or possibly Monday. I believe I put it on Monday's Mornings with Mo. Although Klein had long ago cut ties with Fandango, the company struggled in part due to movie theater attendance dwindling during the unfortunate thing that happened in 2020. The firm reportedly tried to pivot to streaming, but the parent company NBC Universal's profits in the category representing Fandango reportedly fell 40.8% in 2020. Klein graduated from Cornell University and got an MBA from Harvard University and was described in recent For Him University article as a serial entrepreneur who inspired students to dream big and work with people you trust. Klein was the chairman of the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, where he was behind preservation work for animals around the globe, according to sources. He was also the executive chairman of Juxtapose, which specializes in funding startups that build consumer-focused firms. See, y'all, I don't understand what any of this means. This sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo magic. I mean, you could have literally said like Wingardium Leviosa. It sounds like a bunch of people who are paid to tell me what I think when you could just ask me what I think and give me the money. I mean, far be it from me to stop your, deep business like, consumer focus groups. But if you just asked a couple housewives, from the Midwest, I'm pretty sure we could give you a general idea of what moms will buy. But that's just me. Go ahead and have focus groups and like ad agencies and all that stuff. I mean, God forbid you pay me and feed my Sailor Moon addiction. Mr. Mo would be like, darn you. So I am incredibly sorry for his wife, for him, that he couldn't find the peace on this earth, and for his children especially. Children always get me because I know how hard it is, even at a really, really young age, which is kind of a mixed blessing and curse, to have to tell them that, a parent isn't going to be coming back. I mean, that is huge in rocking the stability of a child's life. And you really feel the weight of those words. You really feel that this is going to be a before and after moment that is going to stick in their mind. In other news, now it is, oh gosh, Ozzy Osborne versus Britney Spears, the celebrity match that we never conjured up in our most deviant, 2024 absurd dreams, but we are here for it. Britney Spears tells boring Osborne family to F off as Ozzy critiques her Instagram dancing. Ozzy, I'd be a little scared. This chick dances with knives, okay? Serrated and non. Bread and non. I mean, I'm just saying, I'd be a little scared. She has them what we would call Manson lamps in a couple videos. And again, she dances with knives, okay? I'm not going to talk shizit about Britney Spears. Oops, she clapped back again. Britney Spears ripped the Osborne family a new one Wednesday evening after the patriarch, Ozzy Osbourne, said he was, quote, unquote, fed up with seeing the singer's dancing videos on Instagram. Quote, I'm doing a photo shoot with Kate Beckinsale and tell the Osborne family, who is the most boring family known to mankind, to kindly F off, the 42-year-old toxic hitmaker wrote in a lengthy Instagram note that also defended the British actress and model from similar hate comments. Earlier in the post, Spears said she thought Beckinsale, who is 50, was a badass for posting what she wants rather than age-appropriate content people constantly nag her to share otherwise. Well, I mean, age-appropriate? Look, y'all, I'm gonna be hella honest with you. I am gonna be hella honest with you. If I get to my goal weight and I even have like a single ab, my ridiculous behind will be showing up in maybe not this big of an outfit or a little of an outfit, but I swear to goodness, I will not be trusted if I get to my goal weight. It's gonna be lycra everywhere. So, no hate, no shame. If you work hard for your body or, you're comfortable in your own skin, I do not give two hoots in a handbasket what you do. Now, Ozzy, I do wonder if my years watching, the Osbournes made me more able to distinguish what President Biden is saying. It makes almost perfect sense in Mo's brain. Quote, I know what it's like to be judged, Spears added, but I think it's important to help each other and invite each other to places that help our souls grow. Osborne's comments about the Princess of Pop were included in Tuesday's episode of his family's Osborne's podcast. How can you distinguish what this man is saying? I mean, he literally goes, Shauna, y'all, I watched one full season of that show and I could not understand a GD word the man said other than Sharon. I mean, look, I think it's lovely he has a podcast, but podcast generally indicates you can understand the words coming out of someone's mouth. I don't know. His daughter, 39-year-old Kelly, also shared her opinion that she felt sorry for Spears. It's sad, very, very sad, Ozzy said in agreement. So, I mean, look, Ozzy Osbourne is Ozzy Osbourne, and he can have whatever opinion he wants. This was not the celebrity beef that I was expecting. I can't wait till he goes and eats, well, I can't wait for the diss tracks. I'm just saying, can you imagine it? The Ozzy Osbourne Britney Spears diss rap battle. I'm here for it. 2024. If we don't get an epic rap battle from this, you have disappointed and failed me. Spears' rep did not respond to page 6 original request for comments regarding the famous British family's discussion about her social media activities. Reps for Sharon, Ozzy, Kelly, and Jack Osborne did not immediately reply so code, we just don't want to talk about it. I mean, again, it looks like she's having fun, and who is she hurting? Good morning, JD fan. I mean, who is she hurting? She can dance with knives all she wants. I mean, hell, if she wants to do a Star Wars reenactment with a lightsaber, she was pimped out by her family for fame. I'm kind of done with holding her to certain levels. I am here for it. I mean, Emmys or Grammys or whatever the hell fake awards that Hollywood gives each other to, clap each other on the back. You want Mo to watch whatever shenanigans music thing that you want to do, have the, crazy train and toxic, music collaboration between Ozzy Osbourne and Britney Spears. I'm just saying. I'm there for it. I will be there for it. In other news, well, we can wrap up the Olympics right now because Team Mongolia has taken the lead in the team costume uh, arena. So there you go. Team Mongolia is getting a lot of props for their costumes or uniforms. I don't know if you call them costumes or uniforms. If it were up to the internet, Team Mongolia's uniforms for the Paris Olympics would win gold at the competition for most drip. Is drip a good thing? Generally when you have drip and burning, that's a antibiotic thing, but okay. I mean, I'm not a young kid. I have already told y'all I am closer to get off my lawn territory than knowing exactly who the current rappers are, okay? So I hope that's good. The uniforms by Mongolian couture brand Mikel and Amazonka have the hold on people across social media. Fans have been praising the striking designs, intricately embroidered vests, dresses, and accessories that heavily feature cultural motifs and will be worn during the opening ceremony on July 26th. TikToker Ryan Yip, whose video on the outfits drew more than 424,500 likes, lovingly deemed them athletics or aesthetic sorcery. Tell me what motivated the designers and the whole of the Mongolian team to pop off that hard. Another TikToker who goes by regular guy underscore sports ranked Team Mongolia first in the list of top Olympic uniforms. Mongolia looks like they're going for war, he said. It looks like they're going to be taking people's soul in the competition. Well, I mean, those cheekbones are awesome. I love the embroidery. I know how hard this is to do. I mean, even on a machine, but this looks like to be hand stitched. It is amazingly intricate, it is amazingly detailed, and it is not easy to not, in the words of Bobby Hill, wabi sabi it. Uh, you know, get be happy with the imperfections. There was no, or whatever he said in that one episode. Mikhail and Amazoka, who unveiled the designs earlier this month in a stunning video on social media, have designed the country's Olympic opening and closing ceremony outfits for the last two Olympic Games. For the upcoming international event, the label came out with different outfits for male and female flag bearers and athletes that appear to take on traditional Mongolian deal, a calf-length gown that typically has a high collar and long sleeves. The uniforms also incorporate the colors of the Mongolian flag as well as the soyboyom, the national symbol that's also found on the country's banner. To create uniforms, the brand took detailed measurements of each athlete's body, they said on social media, and it took more than 3 months to complete the look, with one set taking an average of 20 hours to complete. Thank you so much, Fraud at Wrangler. Some days, the wild feral hair of its own accord takes it upon itself to give me a good hair day. So I am Distin, I am reading this in full Midwest. It is Soyombo. So, you know, I am committing all the cultural missteps. Both of the designers, a sister duo behind the brand, previously told Forbes they don't need to travel far for inspiration. Right now, you can find a lot of ideas here in Mongolia from the tradition and culture because it is not very known in the world, the sisters told the outlet. People often know it from historical figures like Genghis Khan and from ancient history, but in current times, you can find a lot of ideas from people's clothes, the way we do cultural things, ceremonies, and stuff like that. Uh, Mongolia joins several other nations that have generated buzz for their Olympic swag. Team Haiti has gotten a lot of love on social media for their Olympic swag. I mean, these are awesome. And the pleating on that, I will tell you as a very, very novice, very, very novice garment maker, to make that pleating look elegant and not like you stuck it through the sewing machine on a bender of, Monster Energy drinks and pixie sticks is not easy. Oh my Bob. Please tell me it's dumbwaiter. Oh my Bob. Or let's see here. Let's see. Incorporating Haitian painter Philip Doddard's work, created by their designer, Stella Jean. Team Nigeria, dressed by Los Angeles-based Black-owned label Actively Black, has also drawn praise for their green and white sportswear. So, there we go. It might be interesting to look at all the uniforms and see what they're doing. I have not been paying attention to the Olympics, y'all. Again, as not a very sporty woman. In fact, my mother brought over tennis rackets because middle son has actually said, I would like to maybe look at doing a sport. So she hands over a tennis racket and she asks my middle son, do you know how to hold this? And he looks at me and I'm like, son, ask me which Futurama episode they go to the Slurm factory. Do not ask me how to, I don't know, not David Beckham, I don't know, not Lance Armstrong. Don't ask me any sportsology questions because I don't know. Thank you for your super chat, Fraudit Wrangler. And these uniforms are giving me Zelda in 1993 flashbacks. I will say they look elegant. They look very elegant. They look strong. I will say, and they managed to capture. I don't remember the title, but they went to the Slurm factory, and the Slurm is, well, it's not soda, it's alien worm, juice. But it's royal alien worm juice. I do like the fact that the female athletes that they picked, how to uniform them, they look both strong and feminine. And I think that's something that shouldn't be such a hard concept to gather, but here lately it seems like you can pick one or the other. They don't, it seems like some parts of culture don't understand that a woman can be both feminine and strong. It's just a different kind of strength. It is a total different kind of strength, and I like that this is portrayed in these things. They didn't take away the earrings. They didn't take away a dress, but they still look very fierce, at least in my opinion. I can't believe you're alive, kiddo, but God love you. Jesus loves you, and thank goodness you're here. Florida teen was unable to scream for help after being struck by lightning. Everything hurts. Well, no. Oh my Lord. This poor child. He is doing okay, though. A Florida teenager was left writhing in pain and unable to scream for help after he was struck by lightning while cutting grass this week, dramatic video shows. Daniel Sharksky, 17, was trimming his neighbor's lawn in Seminole County outside Orlando on Monday afternoon when he noticed ominous clouds rolling in from a distance, he told News 6. He thought he had plenty of time before the storm would reach him. I was just trying to wrap up before I headed out, so it was only a few minutes, he told the outlet from the hospital bed. I felt like I had 10 to 20 minutes before everything started, and it was just like bam. The lightning strike knocked him out cold, Sharkley said. He woke up a short time later on the ground, unable to move or cry for help. Security footage after the strike shows the teenager flailing in pain on the sidewalk with his lawn equipment next to him as neighbors ran over. The next thing I know, I wake up face down in a puddle and I'm trying to scream, but I'm incapable of screaming, he said. I was just rolling around, just waiting for someone to find me. And I'm sure this only took like a second, but it felt like an eternity. He said he wasn't even sure what happened as he regained consciousness. When I first came to, I thought I might have passed out from heat or something, but then I was like, things don't line up. Everything hurts. I couldn't feel my extremities at the time. I couldn't talk. His family provided a photo showing the lightning strike on his arm. Sharkley is known for his community charity work, Cans Over Candy, and an annual initiative where he collects canned goods from neighbors on Halloween for his local food bank. So, you know what? You are a great kiddo. You are helping your neighbor, or he was paying you. But honest to goodness, good kiddo. I am glad you are okay. This was obviously you had someone protecting you, God, the universe, the floating spaghetti monster, whatever you want to believe. I choose to believe God. I'm not telling you what to do. That's not, that's not my bag, to be honest. But a good kid doing good things and he's going to be okay. That's a story I'm good with. That's a great story. Yeah, probably not. He was probably getting paid for it, but he does have, he does collect cans. It he, he seems to be a pretty good kid. So I'm going to, he's 17. I mean, he's still trying to pay for gas money for his car. He's not going to be all the way altruistic. That would be weird. If you saw a teenager that was fully 100% giving and not at all like selfish, you'd be like, they're up to something. New York just cannot catch a break. A meteor exploded over NYC at 38,000 miles per hour, a rare daylight fireball. That's a seagull. Are you going to show me the fireball? I am confused. Okay, that's an airplane. Where is the fire? They put a stock shot in when they told us there was a. I will lose my ever loving mind. No, I don't want to sign up with Facebook. So we don't have pictures of the doggone explosion. You know what, NASA, you are an embarrassment. NASA says it does not track all small meteors at significant distances from Earth's, but individuals in New York and New Jersey reported witnessing the event. A small meteor was responsible for a big fireball over New York City on Tuesday, July 16th, authorities said. The prophecies have been fulfilled. Mo in the deep end will rise. The meteor has arrived a day early. Oh, maybe that one margarita was too much last night. The astronomical event was first detected about 49 miles above Upper Bay, New York Harbor, and moved west toward New Jersey at 38,000 miles per hour, passing over the Statue of Liberty before disintegrating about 29 miles above Midtown Manhattan, NASA confirmed in a statement. Witness described seeing a fireball, hearing booms, and feeling shaking between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. local time. It is unclear if the sounds were related to the meteor or were due to military operations happening at the same time in New Jersey, Bill Cook with NASA's Meteoroid Environmental Office said. However, he added that the event was an unusual occurrence. Something, when it's moving that fast, it heats up, Cook said. You expect to see meteors at night during the day, so this was a rare daylight fireball. While no meteorites were reported, the meteor gave pause to those underneath its trajectory. It was long and really, really fast. Judah Bergman, who saw the meteor from his Lakewood, New Jersey office, told WABC it looked like a flaming long rod or something on fire flying through the sky. The meteor was not even on NASA's radar. Do you train with the Secret Service? Like, for the love of all that is Cheetos and pancakes, I'm glad nothing is on y'all's radar. Mo is all the petty this morning. Look, that cruise story done set me off because I want to go to Alaska, and I am just thinking, for the love of all that is holy, if I get left in Alaska, I will just live there. I'm not going to read that, but that's hilarious. We do keep track of asteroids that are capable of posing a danger to Earth dwellers, but small rocks like the ones producing this fireball are only about a foot in diameter. Incapable of surviving all the way to the ground, NASA said in its statement. And of course, NASA's never made miscalculations like measuring things in yards instead of meters. That's never happened. While some seasoned New Yorkers were nonplussed, according to the New York Times, at least one resident who observed the moment reveled in its rarity. There's something magical about it, Tina Dang, a private chef, said. You forget about these incredible moments in life when there's so much else going on. Well, that is probably true and positive, and there you go. In the final story of the day, and the most hard-hitting, why subs and heroes are called Hogies in Philadelphia. We will break this mystery. We have done it. We have gotten 4chan and, the intelligence services on this, and we have finally figured it out. Let's figure out why these sandwiches are called different things. Who came up with this, John? In Philadelphia and environs, sandwiches have been given an iconic name reserved mostly for metro area munchers, the hoagie. Residents of the city of brotherly love coined one of America's most famed regional cold-cut sando synonyms. All apologies to various homes of the grinder, the hero, the wedge, the torpedo, and the sub. You forgot the po' boy, and I feel not seen here. But how on earth did this come to be? Sink your teeth into this bit of stuffed submarine roll history. Reports from the Philadelphia Inquirer date it back to World War I era, and the city's Hog Island shipyard, now known as the Philadelphia International Airport. The popularity of a succulent stuffed sandwich for workers on the docks morphed over time to become a hoagie, or a hoggy, later a hoagie, according to one account. In a nearby Delaware county known to locals as Delco, the DiCostanza family of sandwich makers claimed that the name entered the lexicon back in the 1920s when truant kids would order them while playing hooky from school in similar nonsensical verbiage. Yet another rumor leaves us marooned back on Hog Island. This time the story centers on an Irish immigrant named Hogan who was envious of the Italian workers' scrumptious lunch one day. He paid the paisan for a piece, coining the unofficial branding rights for the culinary contraption the next day. Suddenly, Hogan's were supposedly in every lunch bag locally. There could be a much simpler explanation, this one passed down by a worker, Al De Palma, to his daughter Rita Scaltrio. When De Palma went looking to Hog Island for labor in the 1930s, he witnessed fellows scarfing down oversized cold-cut sandwiches. She told Inky in 1992. Her father then allegedly scoffed at those guys. They looked like a bunch of hogs. De Palma would come to be known as the King of Hogies, initially selling his Hogies to local workers. Meanwhile, there's another local sandwich favorite with far less muddle origin. A few blocks to the north, back in 1930, Pat Olivari invented the cheesesteak in an attempt to give cabbies and workers in South Philly a hot, filling lunch option that was quick and easy to make. Have one, but don't call it a hoagie. Well, there you go. There's a joke I could make about there being enough women to make a sandwich, but I won't because I am a fake journalist with fake integrity. Well, it has been a real treat to talk about the crazy news with you guys, and I will see you guys for nightly newsy news. I will be looking for some news stories to do some short videos on too, so be expecting those. That is my goal, to expand this, doing some short 10-minute videos throughout the day with just breaking news or things that are crazy. I am sending you over to Baker, I believe, because um, Ashley Banfield, I want to say. There are so many different cases. I cannot remember them all, but I think Baker is doing something. So have a great day. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will see you throughout the day. Bye, you guys.